Hey everybody, welcome to the 2018 coverage of Clash at the Canyons. I'm here with tournament director and co-commentator Steve Ratchin. On the card today we have Dylan Lhotak of Discmania, Stephen Jacobs, and Robert McCall of Dynamic Discs, and Mike Conlee of Latitude 64.
I'm excited to watch some good action here, David.
Yeah, let's see what we got in store. All right, hole 1, which is actually hole 13 at Dulwood Park, comes in at 270 feet. You're going to see some turnovers or forehands out of these guys. Main objective is just get past these first grouping of trees and leave it on a little bit of an anhyzer.
Yeah, as we approach the green here, we see that we have a jail to the left-hand side and a sloping downhill to the right that looks like Steven just crested over.
Yeah, there's actually a B pin down there, and it looks like he parked the B pin on that. And this is Mike Conlee throwing what I believe is a CNES, and it didn't look like he got enough turn on that.
Yeah, it looked like he was going that outside turnover route, but did not get the turn he needed.
And big shout out to Robert McCall for coming all the way out to, from Emporia to come out here and play the Clash of the Canyons. It was really good to see him, and I hope he enjoyed himself. Dylan, after hitting a tree about halfway up the fairway, just trying to get it up near the basket, it kind of looked like he fluffed it a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he shortened that a little bit. He's going to be in a tester area, especially it being the first hole of an A-tier for him this weekend, whether he's going to run a depth putt or lay it up for a bogey.
We'll see here.
Oh, wow. So he does lay it up for the bogey. He is just taking the 4, going to move on. He knows there's 26 more holes. And, wow, Stephen Jacobs from all the way down the hill.
Yeah, he was right next to the B pin and threw a forehand, probably through about 15 or 20 trees, and manages to get up and near the basket.
Yeah, even though you're looking at this at 270 feet, this is no easy hole to start a tournament off of, let alone an A-tier with tee times, when our announcer just called your name right on the box and you got to execute a pretty good shot.
Not only that, we had some Facebook Live coverage and also 2 different cameras following them, so you know there's some nerves and a little bit of jitters maybe in these players.
Yeah, so as you can see, a daunting starting hole. Dylan taking a 4, everyone else taking a 3. No birdies yet, but we are moving into a little birdie alley, almost an ace run alley, as we've seen multiple ace runs in our previous coverage, with Dana spitting out of this hole from 14 lawn pad at King of the Canyons. Ooh, we almost just saw an ace right there, David.
Yeah, Stephen Jacobs throwing what I believe is some sort of mid-range. I don't know exactly what it is.
That may have been his lucid verdict that he's been throwing all course. Maybe it was a beat-up CNES instead.
And Mike Conlee also throwing the CNES.
Yeah.
He's right in front of the bucket, skips maybe about 26 feet. He should be looking at a birdie. And this is one of those holes that all 4 of these guys, if they don't get it, they're gonna be pretty upset. It's only 210 feet, and it's right in front of them.
Exactly, 210 feet, slightly uphill. As you can see, all 3 competitors so far have nearly aced this basket, and if they're not walking away with a 2 on this hole, they're not going to be happy.
Yeah, I believe that was Robert's Warden with his dog on it. I believe it's Walter.
That is very cool.
Yeah, he during the round he showed me it, and he's like, "This is Walter," and I heard a couple of bad Walters, good Walters.
You know, it's great that you bring that up. So even though we need to have some great discs that we're throwing, we need to have some good mojo with the discs that we're throwing as well. And
yeah.
If you can look down and see your dog on there and have some good vibes, you know you're going to be throwing some good shots.
Yeah, and that he did there.
So Mike Conlee hitting a great tester putt to start the round, as well as Stephen Jacobs. Robert McCall follows suit, and Dylan's going to have a relatively easy 15-footer to capitalize on the star birdie.
Yeah. Robert McCall, such a smooth putter. All weekend, I followed him the entire first round, and his putter is just so smooth.
There we go, starting off birdie alley with 4 deuces. They're going to be happy to pit those up after most of the competitors have to lay up for a par or bogey in the last hole.
Yeah, and as you said, hole 15, it's another one of those birdie holes on this birdie alley. All 4 of these players probably going right up the gut. I think this is the same disc that Steven threw on hole 14.
Looks like it hyzers a little deep. If you were to continue into that playground, that would have been out of bounds. On this hole, pathing over to the right, that gravel area and playground left is OB. So even though they do have to hit this short 260 downhill shot, they need to make sure that they keep it on that straight rope, just as Mike did.
Yeah, Mike Conlee nearly hits the pin. I believe that's the third shot off the tee with the same exact disc.
Yeah, and very, very unique to see that after having a misfire on the very first hole, he still had the confidence to throw that disc on hole 14 and 15 and put it within inches of the pin both times. Ooh, we got a flight in sight coming here.
Is this going to be an ace?
Looks like he's taking a P2. Oh, right off the basket, David.
Yeah, wow. I was hoping we would see an ace there.
Ooh, Steven a little low left. Almost capitalized on a 40-foot deuce putt. And there we go. Mike's going to be happy with that. 2 back-to-back 25-footers dead in the center of the chains.
And Robert McCall from a similar distance, maybe about 22 feet. Dead center chains.
There we go. That's the start that these players are really looking for.
And Dylan, nothing but a tap in for him.
Yeah. Took off that adrenaline after nearly ace in his third hole of the tournament, and he's ready to roll on to the next one.
Speaking of the next one of the more iconic holes of Bellwood Park, downhill. I believe it's 250 feet, but kind of throw down a canyon here.
Yeah, this is one of the holes when this course was first put in. You would see competitors throwing their entire bag off it in casual rounds.
And this doesn't look very traditional here. Most players are going to throw an Anheuser or a forehand, and it looks like Conlee's throwing a thumber.
He's throwing a thumber with a spark, actually. And, well, for the third shot in a row, comes inches away from the pin. What is going on here, Mike? Yeah, and as we saw Mike go up the gut there is no double mando at all in this hole, even though it does frame up really nicely. As you can see, Robert taking that outside sidearm route with a felon. Comes up a little bit short, but he's still within putting range.
And that putter has been hot the last couple of holes.
Yes, it has. Dylan, third standstill in a row, but this time taking a flat top champion gator.
And that looks like a good line. Should be right. Yep.
Plays the skip perfectly, puts him right within 6 feet. Stephen Jacobs. Doesn't throw the sidearm often, but this is looking pretty good.
Oh, he's even closer than Dylan.
Explodes right next to the pin there. Let's see, Mike furthest out at about 22 feet.
See if he can keep that putter hot. Oh, and it comes
a little
up short.
bit low. He's not happy with that one.
Robert McCall, I believe those are first run Wardens that he's putting with. And they are working.
They are. He is 3 for 3 in the last 3 holes there. Dylan tapping in. You're going to see Steven actually moving the CTP flag.
Yeah, not sure if he won that, but I know it's a pretty good chunk of change if he did.
Yeah, we had 4 CTPs out there for the day, all at $60 a piece.
That's what, half their entry at least?
Yeah, about 60% of their entry.
Yeah. So after Birdie Alley, we move on to the first longer hole. Comes in at 468 feet. You may see 1 or 2 guys get there, but for the most part, it's a crush, maybe a jump putt. But yeah, you may see a couple of twos.
Yeah, most of the competitors do have the arm to get within a jump putt or inside the circle. There's not a lot of danger in this hole, but you need to make sure you don't overpower it and grip a lot to the right, as there is a creek on the other side of that gravel path.
Dylan busting out the roller with, I think, a TDX.
Yeah, a flat S-line TDX. Puts us on a great angle.
Oh, he's about to hit our camera guy.
Ooh, 5-hole in between the legs of catch cam Sean Callahan.
Yeah, shout out to him for not letting that disc hit him. And Mr. Curl, a bit of a misfire.
A little bit, but even though he does have a little bit of a misfire, 470 feet, wide open shot to the basket.
Yeah, I think he's looking at about 160 from here, looking to hang a forehand out there. It doesn't look like he hung it as much as he would have.
Yeah, a little bit too high. I mean, he's getting himself right around circle's edge, but he's going to have some trees that he's going to need to putt around.
And Robert and Steven both, I believe, were within 5 feet of each other. And I was actually doing live coverage of them right here, and they placed bets on if one of them made it, the other one owed him money.
It's always nice when you can get that camaraderie in a round, even though we do have the competitiveness of an A tier going on here where they're playing for over $7,000 in the pro purse. It's nice to keep that camaraderie, keep good vibes going on the card, and just get yourself out of the game so you can focus on throwing some good shots.
Absolutely. And Dylan, good look for a birdie, but just left of the basket. And as you saw, Conlee looking for a par there, but just missed that one. He's going to settle for a bogey 4.
Unlike the last 3 holes, competitors are not going to be upset at all taking a 3 in this hole. Not many 2s will be scored on this throughout the day, but a 4, as Mike just took there, does not feel great. All right, so after 5 holes, Ryan McCall is holding the lead in the card with 3 down. We got Dylan and Steven tied at 2 down, and Mike, after the bogey, drops to 1 down. We're going to be moving on to course hole 18, tournament hole 6. We're playing the B pin on this hole, David, which is a newer pin added with the last few months, tucked over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a very difficult to access on a backhand. I'm not sure if Robert ever practiced it or not. I'm kind of surprised that he did throw the backhand. As you see Dylan throwing a forehand here, and if the catch cam got it, and it did,
Boom,
he absolutely parked it. The
That
forehand
was a fantastic shot.
is the play, in my opinion, on this hole 18 B pin.
Agreed, David. It's such a sharp corner over the creek that you have to hit that a backhand just brings a little bit too much danger in, and it's a tough angle to get all the way there.
Yeah, and you see here Conlee going forehand as well.
Ooh!
That's a misfire by him, and looks like it went out of bounds, so he's throwing 3 from down near the creek. This is such a sharp edge shot here, trying to get it to the B pin, and the most he could do is just get it near the A pin actually and give it a run.
Yeah, even though we see Mike 45 out, that's probably the closest he'd be able to get from where his shot last crossed in bounds.
Robert McCall, similar distance, gives it a good run, right side basket.
Ooh, Steven a little high. They are all over this basket right now. Let's see if Dylan can correct from about 10 feet and takes the lone birdie.
Yep, he capitalizes. It looked like from Steven's putt, he thought it was going in as well, but unfortunately caught the top nub and dropped right out. Conlee looks like he's cleaning up his unfortunate double bogey here.
Yeah, Mike, after going 4-5 in the last 2 holes, after we see our fantastic commentator and live coverage, David Hopkins there in the background. Mike is not going to be happy with those 4 and 5, but after hole 18, there's a pretty lengthy walk over the hole 1. He's going to recollect his thoughts. One of the best composures that you're going to see in the game. And here we have it. Hole 1, 242 feet up the hill. Not many courses do you see a hole that gives you the green light to ace run, but you can throw whatever disc you want, hyzer at this basket, and we have a big backstop. Ryan McCall taking that hyzer route right in the middle of the fairway, puts it right next to the pin.
Basket. And it looks like he took that CTP, which is $60+ unless it was beat, and looks like this is a mid-range from Jacobs. Oh, hits that root up there on the right and kicks straight back.
Mike, there we go. There's the correction after the last couple holes. Putting himself right inside the circle. But yeah, as Dave mentioned, Ryan McCall is taking that CTP, and fun fact, he ended up winning it for the day.
That's a good little chunk of change.
Yeah, there were about 12 to 15 groups that teed off after this. So
yeah, Dylan didn't look like he was ready on that putt. Kind of left a little bit, and gonna have to settle for a 3. And this is another one of those holes where it's just an easy hyzer. You know, these guys 90 out of 100 times expect to get a birdie on it. It's surprising that only 2 of the 4 players did get a birdie on it.
Yeah, Steven and Dylan are not going to be happy with those 3s, as they have probably 2'd that hole hundreds of times in their career at this course. All right, moving on to hole 8 for the tournament. Hole 2 on the course, 285 feet. We have a creek left side that's going to play OB. However, during this round, the creek was pretty low. So if your disc does skip into the water, there's a pretty high chance that you're going to get your club back.
Absolutely, and it looks like Conlee's going with some sort of pink disc. I don't know exactly what that is. Looks like it hit a limb early. He's looking at 45 feet at least for a birdie too. Dylan taking a little bit of a different route. It looks like he kind of left it out of his hand early, but does manage to get up there and maybe inside the circle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dylan was taking a flat C-line MD2 there, trying to cut the corner, but hugged it a little too inside. Here we go.
Is that the truth?
I believe that's his lucid verdict again, and just like a Key in the Canyons, he puts it right next to the pin.
Yeah, that's a no doubt birdie. We got Conlee from a pretty good distance here. Gives it a decent bid, but is gonna have to settle for a
There we go, Dylan. A little bit high right side, but these mock X's catch those all day.
And Robert McCall continues his streak there. What a great putt. His putter's been on, and he's going to retain that lead.
There we go. Conlee's going to tap in his par before Steven can even get up to his disc. Getting that easy, too. Oh, man. We have one hole left here for the front 9 of the first round. We see Dylan at 4 under. Steven Jacobs at 3 under. Conlee back to even, but Robert McCall winning the card at 5 down so far.
Yeah, hole 3, it's a pretty good distance, 362 feet uphill. You're going to want to get your disc on a hyzer flip and keep that turn going and get up there and possibly get a 2 on it. Definitely a bonus birdie if you do get it.
Wow, that was a fantastic drive by Robert. Even though we're seeing this come in at 362, it's really playing close to the 400 feet as it severely does go uphill. Dylan electing to go with a sidearm, but does not get the hyzer that he was expecting.
But he is one of the best forearm players in the state, and I've seen him get up there with that. Steven Jacobs looking for that similar turnover, hold the turn.
Here we go. He's squeaking over, seeing if it's going to keep turning, and yes, it does. Turns to look at Robert and says, somebody's closer. Conlee gets the right height on it, but does this have enough turn to keep curling towards the pin?
He does. Oh, yeah.
Had a little bit too much turn, actually.
Yeah, he's looking at a pretty good chance for a 2 outside the circle, but maybe his putting will turn on and pick up a birdie too here.
Come on. Ooh, a little bit high left.
Robert McCall, as expected, continues that hot putter.
So excited to watch that putter drop in. There we have it, 2 deuces on hole 3 here. Pretty much a bonus birdie for the most part. You are not upset after taking a 3 on here. But Mike and Dylan definitely had the looks at it. They're going to want to dial in that putter for the rest of the 18 holes that we have.
And after 9 holes and a little bit of a shaky start, Dylan Lhotak ends up at 4 under, as well as Steven Jacobs. Mike Conlee still sits at even, and Robert McCall leading the card at 6 under.
Stick around. We're going to have middle 9 coverage of the first round at Clash of the Canyons coming up soon.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.